Hi, my name's Tom Brown. What I'm about to show you, my own mother and father thought I was just absolutely crazy. I've been telling them stories for almost 4 years, calling them long distance, and totally amazed my mother. She was headed to the nursing home, and I said, Mom, I'm going to send you this. I want you to drink it. And lo and behold, she called me 3 days after she had gotten it. She only drank 2 cups in 2 days, and her neuropathy pain and her rheumatoid arthritis pain left her body. My dad was so amazed, he started drinking one of the plants and mixed it with another one that I had sent, and hasn't had issues with chronic bronchitis or COPD all winter long. Now mind you, they live in Ohio close to Lake Erie. Okay, I want you to watch these stories of some of the crazy stories I had told my parents that they thought I was out of my mind. Take a look. This is a lady who was in bed for 5 months. She went to the hospital. She couldn't breathe. She was talking to her father on the phone. He lives here in California. She lives in Missouri. She said, Dad, I can't find the emergency door. I can't breathe. He said, honey, don't worry about your breathing. You just get in that emergency room. And when she did, she collapsed. Let me tell you how yerba sauna in Chaparral changed my life. My name is Shannon. I have been diagnosed with asthma since birth. I am now 27 years old and breathing and not wheezing healthy lung life on December 4th, 2012. Now, I've been telling people I've only been doing this for a little over 2 years. I guess I've been having so much fun, it's been 4. I was at home having a very difficult day, wheezing and very short of breath. I was cleaning the light dust of mold out of the windowsill when all of a sudden I felt like my lungs were about to collapse. I drove myself to the hospital, having a hard time finding the entrance. I finally made my way into the emergency room. Next thing I knew, I was on a bypass breathing mask with my vision starting to fade. I felt 2 needles injected on each side of my neck and was out into darkness. 1 week later, waking up on life support with tubes down my throat and hoses in my neck, thinking it was the same day. I went into the hospital, opened my eyes to see the same day. I went into, thinking it was the same day I went into the hospital. Opening my eyes to see my father and mother sitting in my room and hearing nurses say, it's a medical miracle that I'm awake and alive. They unhooked me from the machine and took out the hoses and tubes. The doctor told me that he had pulled 13 strands of mold out of my lungs. Then he had told me I would have to have 2 Zolar injections in my stomach every 3 weeks for the rest of my life. If I decided not to take them, I was told my life would be short due to having severe chronic asthma, lung disease. I was not allowed to wear makeup, use any cleaning chemicals, lift my own kids, or do any activities. Anything that would make her short of breath. After I married my husband, um, they took my Social Security money. I then lost my Medicaid. Being a female who loved wearing makeup, perfume, holding her kids, running and playing with them, I then became very depressed and felt worthless. I could not afford my 2 shots. They cost $4,500 per shot. A couple months of not having them, I was in and out of the hospital with small asthma attacks. My breathing was getting bad. One day my father called me. He had told me about yerba sauna and chaparral tea leaves. How his friend told him that the leaves would help me heal my lungs. So I told him to have his friend send them to me, and I would give it a try. When I received the yerba sauna and chaparral, I made it into a tea and drank them. A few days, I started to notice a big difference in my breathing. I am going on almost 4 years. I don't even drink it every day anymore. I have not had an asthma attack. I feel like yerba sauna and chaparral have made a huge
impact on my lungs and breathing. I can now tolerate smells and can feel like a mother and a lady once again. I wear makeup and play with my boys and am pregnant with another on the way. If you lost if you're lost of hope for your health, please give the teas a try. It saved my life. I'm still going. It has benefited me in different ways, from thyroid problems to none. Chaparral had also took away a cyst that I was going to have removed because it was possibly cancerous. It also helped me. It also helped my 3-year-old son from infection in his ears. He didn't have to get tubes in his ears. He took one big giant gulp of his mom's tea because it was on a Friday, and the doctor said if his ear infection ain't gone Monday, we're going to put tubes in his ear. He only drank one big gulp of this stuff and hasn't had no problems since. Okay. Both yerba and chaparral have many benefits when it comes to healing issues. Please, if anyone is suffering from asthma, cancer, or anything, take my advice and ask Tom about it. All you can do is give it a try. It does not taste the best, but is the best for your life and health. God bless you all, and thank you for listening. Love, thoughts, prayers I'm sending out to everyone suffering with illnesses. This friend of mine was in total agony 24/7. She was in such bad shape, getting up every day was questionable whether she really wanted to live. First off, let me say that I've been very skeptical about natural herbs. Now, she's the one who gave her friend the box of the yerba. I had run into her a couple months later. She told me the story, and then I told her about the chaparral. I gave her that. They were sitting in her pantry, doing nothing with them. I'm very skeptical about natural herbs that detox the body because my body was so bad that every time I tried something, I quit shortly after due to the purging process of my body. I was always way worse off than when I started and could never see the natural remedy through the complete process. It was so much easier to go to a doctor and get another pill to make me feel better. Then one pill turned into 5, and then when finally I woke up to the game, I was taking 18 pills a day for diabetes, high blood pressure, side effects of those pills, and the lovely shingles. My blood pressure was 164 over 101, and my blood sugar was hovering between 190 and 300 before meals. My A1C was at 9.7. I had breakouts of shingles every 15 to 20 days. My body felt like a cesspool, and I was always tired, irritable, and just had to force myself to exist. I hated what was going on. I started with a quarter cup tea made with yerba medicine, see? It's not like massive doses. A week later, I added a half a cup of chaparral tea. I drank yerba at night and chaparral in the morning. Within 2 weeks, I noticed that I was not tired, and the blisters from shingles were drying up within 3 days of a breakout. I continued with the process, and when I went in for my 3-month doctor appointment checkup, well, both the doctor and I were shocked. Of course, when I told the doctor what I was doing, she said, "Is there a scientific or medical study published on these so-called results?" I rolled my eyes and told her to never mind, and I could not wait for the day to come that I would not have to see her ever again. My A1C was at 8, and my blood pressure had dropped. I then seriously thought about it, and I had not had a breakout of shingles in 6 weeks. I was so active with life, I didn't have time to think about being sick. Needless to say, it has been almost a year since I started this adventure. I now take just 3 pills a day. Period. I work hard and I play harder. No shingles for 8 months. Her A1C is below normal. Her blood pressure is normal. And seriously, what do you have to lose? But the sickness and pills. There's a reason why these plants grow without human intervention for us to use. Do it for yourself and share with everyone.
Yeah, this is the plant that my mother drank, the chaparral. I'll be going in how we make the tea out of it in other videos, but for now, it's also called Larian trindata. Okay, it's the creosote bush or greasewood, we know it as chaparral. It's a medicinal herb. It's also known as the dwarf evergreen oak, gubernardara, and it's just a powerful plant. Its appearance and range, it's actually a perennial evergreen shrub. Grows up to 9 feet tall. I've actually seen them 12 feet tall. Grows in northern Mexico and throughout the American Southwest. This produces yellow flowers, approximately 2.5 inches across. It's drought resistant, extremely bitter tasting, strong smelling, and there was a nuclear test bomb in Yucca Flats, Nevada in 1962. The chaparral was one of the first plants to grow back, with 21 of the 22 plants sprouting again. The chaparral bush grows all over the United States. I just have a map here of California. All right, it's throughout California. As we're headed to Vegas from where I live, it's all over Nevada, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, Idaho, Texas, Arizona, through all them states. Oklahoma, probably. I've only been in little parts of Oklahoma. Yeah, just totally amazing. The oldest living organism on Earth, they believe, is the king's clone. Its creosote ring has been alive an estimated 11,700 years in the central Mojave Desert near Lucerne Valley, California. It's called Larian trindata, folks. It's a technical name for it. This is how we use it. We make a tincture, infused oil, salves, tea. Everybody I know is practically drinking the tea. Honey, capsules, compress, poultice, powder, wash, soak, sitz bath. Had a few people doing that with their animals with amazing results. We'll get up here to what's in it. Because constituents: beta carotene, calcium, chromium, essential oil, lignan, magnesium, potassium, quercetin, resins, and saponins. Don't really know what all that is, but half the things I read on labels, I don't know what they are. Now, some of these websites I got my information from were from medical websites, and other ones were from more of the herbologist websites. At this time, this is one of the medical websites. It says there's not enough scientific evidence to determine an appropriate range of doses for chaparral. Medications that can harm the liver, hepatotoxic drugs interact with chaparral. Chaparral might harm the liver. Taking chaparral along with medications that might also harm the liver can increase the risk of liver damage. Do not take chaparral if you are taking medications that can harm the liver. Here is a list of something medications that can harm the liver, including Tylenol and others, imododarian, cordarian, carbamazepine, and I don't even know how to pronounce half of these, folks. Take a look at that list. I'm going to leave it up for a little bit. If there's anything that you're taking that looks like that, might be a good idea you consult your physician, or there's contradicting, and we're going to go into that in just a second, the contradiction about the liver damage, okay? What is recommended dosage? All right. Well, they're not studying it, so there's really not a recommended dosage. Although I do have a recipe what we're doing. It all depends on your age, your health, you know, what's your body weight, whether you're a child or an adult. You know, make sure that you contact your physician, your healthcare provider. If you're pregnant or nursing, you shouldn't drink this. You shouldn't be very careful no matter what you're doing if you're pregnant or nursing. People who get diverticulitis, they should strain their tea before drinking it, okay? That way they're not getting little things caught inside their intestines. If you get an allergic reaction, stop drinking it. If you get a fever, nausea, or jaundice, stop drinking it. Excessive amounts may be detrimental to the liver, kidneys, and lymphs. Too much water isn't good for you. You use good judgment and pay attention to you. Folks, this Chaparral Bush, this is like medicine. You don't drink it like beer, okay? You don't go buy a bottle of cough medicine and drink the entire bottle and then go guzzle another bottle 4 hours later. My mother only sipped 2 cups in 2 days. 1 cup one day, 1 cup the next, sipped it all day long. Okay, and here are my references of where I've got my information. Okay. And I have found that, like the Desktop Guide to Herbal Medicine by Bridget Mars, the books seem to have better information than the websites, because they leave a lot of things out of the website pages, especially the medical websites. I'm going to show you a list now of things that maladies that this can be assisted with the use of chaparral. It's a long list, and I've actually added things to this list that people have told me have disappeared. Abscess, acne, alcoholism, allergies, amenorrhea, anemia. It's a great antibiotic, antiseptic. Arteriosclerosis, arthritis, athlete's foot, blood poisoning, blood purifier, boils, bronchitis, bursitis, cancer, chemical poisoning, chicken pox. Had a lady told me a great story about chicken pox. Colds, cold sores, congestion, constipation. Everybody seems to be regular. Cysts, digestion, diabetes. All kinds of people tell me stories about diabetes. Eczema, eyes, got a few eye stories. Another eczema story just heard the other day. Female discomfort, fever, fungus, gout, growths, hemorrhoids, herpes, high blood pressure, tons of high blood pressure stories. Immune system, impetigo, infections, got some infection stories, inflammation, lots of inflammation stories. Itching, kidney stones, a person got rid of her kidney stones. Leukemia, leukaria, the liver, the lymphs. Melanoma, got a guy putting it on his skin. It seems that melanoma is going away. Mucus congestion, neuropathy, that's what my mother had. Parasites, pets, animals, pneumonia, poisoning, poison ivy in oak, prostatitis, rheumatism, ringworm, scabies, scalp, sinusitis, skin sores, snake bites, STDs, stomach, sty, tumors, tuberculosis, urinary tract, venereal disease, venereal warts, weight loss, and wounds. And now we'll go over to the physical effects. This is an alternative. It's an antibacterial, antiparasitic, anti-inflammatory. Looks like you got antiparasitic up there twice. Anti-tumor, antiviral, bitter, depurative, diuretic, emetic, expectorant, laxative, lymphatic, cleaner, and a tonic. Okay, folks, this plant grows in an alkaline pH soil. And it's very important that we keep our bodies at an alkaline pH level. Okay, and you can purchase these strips or sticks for measuring the body's acid-alkaline balance, and one of the most effective tools in determining our overall state of health, as well as our body's ability to flush out chemicals and metals inundating us daily. The body's oxygen saturation level is determined by its overall pH. The body must be slightly alkaline for its cells to be properly oxygenated. The pH scale goes from 0 to 14, with 0 being purely acid, 14 being purely alkaline, and 7 being neutral pH. Without exceptions, people who have cancer, autoimmune diseases, or heavy metals and chemical poisoning also have an overall body pH below 7.0, which means that their cells are not being properly oxygenated, leading to an accumulation of toxins. The ideal body pH level is 7.4. But people who are actively using naturopathic principles and detoxifying try to keep their pH a bit more alkaline for a period of time, since cancer cells cannot survive in the body with a pH of 8.0. How many people knew that? I did a little field trip, had a bunch of people there, one person out of about 25. Okay, check this out. This is where the controversy comes in with the toxicities that I had read earlier. In 1992, it was said that 2 people using large doses of chaparral in capsules, in a capsule form, developed non-viral hepatitis, and 3 others developed symptoms of liver toxicity. The American Herbal Product Association and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration issued a press release suspending the sales of chaparral. Now, on the medical website, they put a period there and stopped the sentence. When you go to the books or look on herbology sites, in 1995, you find out that there was no basis for the warning, and they had to reinstate it, and sales continued. So they had 0 evidence of hepatitis and liver toxicity. Now, is chaparral safe to use? In 1992, the FDA issued a warning regarding the use of chaparral tablets and capsules, saying it was possibly linked to 5 cases of hepatitis, liver inflammation. Other organizations, including the World Health Organization, the National Cancer Institute, and research at the University of Illinois of Chicago, had determined there are no hepatotoxicities to the liver properties in chaparral. In 2005, Health Canada, the Canadian equivalent to the FDA in the United States, warned consumers to not ingest any products that contain chaparral and banned importation of the herb after receiving 1 report of acute hepatitis associated with chaparral ingestion. Given the widespread of the use of chaparral and its documented historical use by indigenous tribes for centuries, it appears to be quite safe. Chaparral sensitivity symptoms include nausea, vomiting, dark urine, and or abdominal pain. If your eyes or skin become jaundice, turn yellow, stop using chaparral immediately. This is a sign of liver toxicity. Okay? So if you notice that, then if it's happening to you, you need to stop. Okay? Just like if you're allergic to peanuts, you don't keep eating peanuts. We encourage you to do your own research and make education choices regarding your health care. Choose doctors knowledgeable in the use of herbs and nutrition, and those who take time to answer your questions. Precaution. Like any herb substance you ingest, with caution. Everybody is unique. It is not uncommon for some people to be sensitive to a substance that is highly energized to others. Stressors such as anxiety, medication, sleep deprivation, acidic pH, toxic overload from foods and environment contaminations weaken the immune system, and diseases can contribute to adverse reactions when ingesting any substance, including native plants. So it's not just native plants, folks, it's anything. You know your own body. Okay, and we're going to be going over some other stories here in a little while. Okay, everybody wants to know, how do I dry it and store it? Well, to dry it, you hang it upside down in a warm shaded area, I use fishing string. I usually hang it in my garage where it's warm, and it takes about 3 to 5 days. If I'm doing it in the house because it's winter time, at 70 degrees, takes sometimes up to 2 weeks, depending on the size of the stalk and stuff that I've cut off. Mason jars are the best way to keep them dry, especially in areas of high humidity. I store mine in a brown paper bag, but only because where I live it's very hot, little humidity, and the winters are mild. Direct sunlight will turn it brown, and the effectiveness will be greatly reduced. Once it turns brown, throw it away. Okay, I got this off of the proliberty.com site. The chaparral work to reduce it and eliminate malignant tumors and other complaints. The following appraise from Dr. Kelly's book, One Answer to Cancer. Now, I copied this directly from there, word for word, and this is their credit. As a blood purifier, chaparral cleanses deep into the tissue and assists the body in eliminating toxic debris. In our modern society, and pancreas, liver, and other tissues and organs are so congested with poisons from pharmaceutical medications, sprays, metallic poisons, and other pollutants that our organs cannot carry on normal activity. This serves as an antagonist to the enzyme, minerals, and vitamins metabolism in our bodies. In our bodies. In cancer specifically, the pancreatic enzymes are locked in with the antagonists and are rendered totally ineffective by chelating these antagonists, the chaparral, from the pancreatic enzymes. We find that person's own cancer defenses take over and destroy the malignant tumor. It has also been found that chaparral works well in chelating the toxins and drug residues out of those who have been drug addicts. Here's an interesting fact, folks. The chaparral was listed in the United States Pharmacopoeia from 1842 to 1942 as an expectorant and a bronchial antiseptic. It promotes tissue repair and cleanses the lower bowels. It increases the levels of ascorbic acid, vitamin C, in the adrenal gland. This is one of the body's primary storage sites for this vitamin. And then I have a recipe how to make the tea. We're going to be posting that on the website. Okay, you can also make oils out of this by cooking the branches in oil to make a wonderful massage to ease rheumatic limbs. It can be used as a cavity preventer, as a mouthwash, hair rinse for dandruff, suppository for hemorrhoids, bolus to treat vaginal infections, or as a liniment, salve, or compress. That's pretty much it for the chaparral bush. Got a few more stories for you, and they'll be all on the story page. Hope this was very informative for you. And now listen, this is my disclaimer, all right? I'm not a doctor. You need to make aware of your doctor what you're doing. Okay, if you're on medications, you're going to see that people that are on their medications are getting off of their medications, like, let's say, as far as diabetes goes. When they notice that their sugar levels are way low, they start getting off of their medication and just continue to drink the chaparral, and it seems like everything is just totally working for them. Anyways, I hope this was some good information. Want to let you know that there are no actors here. Okay, you can obviously tell by my reading. So any words mispronounced, I apologize for that. Do your homework. And by the way, all this has been free. Everything that all these people that you hear, it has cost them zero money to get the diseases and whatnot out of their bodies. All right, thank you very much. Okay, I've decided to go ahead and open up myself a new email address, okay, and I want to give it to you right now so you can tell me your stories, because I'm getting all kinds of stories from friends, family. I supply over 250 people with these plants, all for free, okay, and people are getting off of their medicines, as you've seen. But the name of my email address is ICMiracles, MIRACLES, at outlook.com.